Did I ever tell you that I'm a seasoned professional at latte art? Oh, fuck. Never mind. Quick video on 3 of my easiest to make high protein breakfasts. We know the benefits of having a decent amount of protein in your day, and what I find is that most of my clients and most athletes in general really miss out on a good opportunity for a serving of protein in the morning. Their excuse sometimes is the time in which it takes to make those type of breakfasts. So hopefully in this video I'm going to give you 3 examples of meals which you can make, which only take a couple of minutes to make, but every single meal has at least 25 grams of protein in it. So yeah, let's start with meal number 1. This is something that I have when I need a very quick, easy breakfast, which is very easy to digest. So the perfect example of when I might need that kind of breakfast is directly post-workout. So this morning, for example, I've been to the gym and I did that gym session fasted. I've come back, I'm very hungry, and there's a demand for fast digesting carbohydrates and protein as well. So this absolutely hits the spot. It's probably one of my favorite kind of quick to make breakfasts, and it literally takes me about a minute to make. All you need is a fairly big bowl. Rice Krispies, the macronutrient content of Rice Krispies is great. It's really fast to digest, and I think for 100 grams of Rice Krispies you get about 80 grams of carbs, but the main thing is it's very little sugar. You also need some milk. I'm just going for oat milk, but you can also use almond, you can use normal cow's milk if you want. I'm not a vegan and I'm not lactose intolerant, but I do prefer plant-based milk in the morning. It just makes me feel a little bit better. And then also you need a protein powder. Now again, you can use whey protein, you can use a vegan blend of protein, whatever you like. And also the flavor of this protein can be whatever you like as well. I've done this exact recipe before with vanilla whey protein, and that works really, really well. But one of my favorites is this one from Bulk Powders, which is chocolate peanut flavor. So all I'm gonna do, really simple. I can't believe I'm actually talking through this because it is very simple. In a shaker, I've already done it here. In a shaker bottle, I put a scoop of protein in, which is the equivalent of about 25 grams of protein. I top the rest of that up with milk to about 3/4 full. Obviously, if you don't have a shaker bottle, that's absolutely fine. You can use a blender, you can just use a normal cup. Just make sure it's nicely mixed in. Then, in my bowl, I'm going to pour a certain amount of Rice Krispies. Personally, to meet my calories and to meet my carbohydrate content, I have 80 grams of Rice Krispies, but you can manipulate that to whatever you want. Then I simply pour that shaker over the top and make it into like a chocolatey Rice Krispie bowl. So I've got my scales here and pour Rice Krispies in until we get to, oh, run out. 75 grams will have to do today. And then I'm simply going to pour this shaker bottle over the top of there until it makes this kind of consistency. Absolutely hits the spot, I promise you. You can see I've put some fruit in there and some flaked almonds and things like that. You can just stick in whatever you prefer. Okay, breakfast number 2. This is a lower calorie breakfast. It does still have a decent amount of protein in. The protein is coming from a protein supplement. So for example, in this one, I'm using vanilla whey protein, but you can really substitute it for any different flavour or type of protein as well. I wouldn't use this breakfast on a day that I'm training in the morning because it's quite high in fibre and, like I say, low in carbohydrates and lower in overall calories. For this recipe, you could do with a blender. This is a smoothie maker blender, and the benefit of this is that once you've put it on, it's also got this little device here, this paddle, to push the food down, so you can make it a lot drier without it sticking. But a normal blender would still work absolutely fine, I'm sure. In your blender, start with a little bit of milk. I'm using almond milk. You don't need loads in there, probably about half a cup to 3/4 of a cup. Then you go in with your protein. I'm using just over a scoop of protein, about a scoop and a bit of protein. And then basically you just top the rest up with frozen fruit, and that's it. Three ingredients: milk or plant milk, protein, and frozen fruit. Now, what people do wrong is they put too much milk to fruit ratio, and then it becomes too runny and it's not good enough. Now the two fruit that I'm using is frozen blueberries and bananas, but again, you can swap and change, substitute whatever you want. Raspberries work well in there, strawberries work well in there, but the fruit must be frozen. That is the critical part. All that blending, you could tell that was ever so slightly too dry because it wasn't quite getting the bit at the bottom, even with that paddle on it. So just a touch more milk. You can always come back and add a little bit more, but you can't take it out. That is the kind of consistency that we're looking for. Woohoo! Don't lick out of the where that is. That is the consistency that you're after. Need a spoon just to entice it out. Don't forget that bit. Every time. So refreshing. So refreshing. Now what I normally do is, because it's quite thick in the shaker still, what I do is I stick a little bit more milk in. And I usually have my creatine in there as well. Make it a lot wetter and just blend that bit up, and then I'll just drink that as a shake, just to make sure I'm not missing out on any of the ingredients or the protein at the bottom, and then I'll have my smoothie bowl. Hits the spot every single time. I think the beauty of this recipe is that you can't really go wrong. I've never put something in this recipe and it not work. Like different flavors of protein, different fruit, different toppings. Now realistically, once you've done that, the world is yours. You can add on top of that smoothie bowl whatever you want. If you want a bit higher calories, a bit higher carbohydrate, add some oats on there or some granola, some more fruit. I usually add a little bit of Greek yogurt, and then some like flaked almonds and cranberries kind of thing. But yeah, if I want to bump the calories up a little bit, I add a bit of granola or oats onto there, and yeah, hits the spot every single time. This is my third and final breakfast. This is what I call sweet eggs. So basically it's scrambled eggs in a pan, but with a sweet taste to them. The sweet taste is not coming from sugar, but it's coming from a spice of your choice. So the two spices that work really well for this are either ground cinnamon or what they call mixed spice, which is like a sweet version of a mixed spice. So that's essentially got coriander seeds, nutmeg, ginger, clove, and cinnamon. So that works really well as well. So for this recipe, you will need coconut oil, 3 eggs, some dried or fresh fruit of your choice. In this version, I'm going to use some apple and some blueberries because that's what I've got in, but you can use banana, you can use whatever you like really. In fact, I might even do a banana version today. Yeah, I'm going to do a banana and blueberry version today. And then, yeah, lastly, your spice. Coconut oil in the pan, melt it, add the eggs, and add the stuff on top. There's no right or wrong way of doing this. You can, like I say, you can scramble the eggs in the pan, or you can just let them fry away. Nice dinosaur pancake pan I'm using. The critical thing with this one is don't be too sensitive with like the order of what you do things in, how you cook your eggs. At the end of the day, an egg will taste like an egg whether you scramble it or you fry it. And because you're putting all this sweet stuff on top, that's what you'll be able to taste with the fruit. So chuck the eggs in the pan, do what you want with them, chuck the other stuff on top, and as soon as the eggs are cooked, serve it up, nice and easy. This is a breakfast that I often use if I've got a fairly chilled morning, sedentary morning. It's fairly low in carbohydrates, this one. So yeah, today I'm not training until later on today. So my morning can be fairly low carb, and then we'll pick the carbs up later in the day. And there we have it. 3 eggs, some blueberries, some flaked almonds and cranberries. I promise you, albeit it doesn't look the tastiest of meals, that is decent. So that was my top 3 meals, top 3 high protein, quick to make meals for breakfast. They are also meals that you could have at any point in the day. So if you feel like there's a certain window where you need to have a protein serving and a bit of a snack to see you through to the next main meal, then it'd be appropriate to have one of those as well. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and see you again next time.